This is going to be something very special and history in the making.
At a great place to do it, full of Australian motor racing heritage. It's Sandown International Raceway, a touch over 3 kilometres long. The outright lap record could disappear today. And that's the scene over this famous pit straight. There's a great crowd all around this venue that have come in to see a little bit of history made today. 560 horsepower each, they're 900 kilos. Matt Nolte, a bit of history starts today.
So here we go for the first time. The lights go out, the wheel spin happens, and S5000 comes to life at Sandown Raceway. All 13 cars get away. It's Macro and Martin who will lead us down to turn number 1 as these thundering S5000s blaze their way down the Brock Straight into turn number 1 for the first of 16 laps. We're 3 wide at the back of the field. Someone had to trip up. It was Rubens Barrichello.
Yeah, there was a bump and run in there. A little bit of contact. They were 3 abreast in the mid-pack. Barrichello came off second best. Great start from Macro from the gripped up side of the road. He was starting on the racing line. He got the best traction and drove away. He leads John Martin. James Golding up to 3rd place. Really good start, Alex Davison. He's got ground. He's up to 4th. Brabham up to 5th. He's been the biggest mover. Could be more. He's wheel to wheel with Davison up to turn 6, and he should clear him by the time they get to the left-hander at the top of the hill.
It's around the outside at first 3 down at Dandenong Road corner, and Brabham has got up to 4th position. So everybody's safely through past a bit of bump and grind down at turn number 1. You're on top of the Eggleston Motorsport car of Toowoomba's Will Brown, who turned 21 earlier this year. He runs in 8th position as down we come to complete the first of 16 laps in the first qualifying heat, the first ever run of S5000 here in Australia.
So Macro standing lap 1:13.0. It's really fast. And he's got a bit of a margin, but he's made an error. He locked the rear brakes going into turn 2. Martin will go side by side. Wheel to wheel S5000 racing on lap 2. And it'll be a drag race up the backstretch.
Watch Golding. He's got the speed, but nowhere to go. He'll tuck in the slipstream here of Macro. This is what it's all about in S5000s. Pushing that slipstream down the back straight. You've got Martin on the outside. He may just well be 3rd by the time we get to turn 6.
Wow, huge racing. Great move, Jimmy Golding. Martin's boulder wide up at 6. He's off in the escape road. He'll gather it up, but he's back to 3rd place.
The Brazilian Formula 1 star and Brazil stock car champion from 2014 tries to move around the outside here at the S's on Ricky Capo.
Can't tell you the sensation at this place at the moment. It is quite literally shaking where we are. The thunder as they come past the start-finish line and down towards turn 1 at about 250 k's an hour on approach. It's quicker up the back straight. There's a yellow flag. Who's off? Car 22.
Alexander.
Tom Alexander, the AGI Sport racer.
I thought it was our leader for a minute.
And John Martin's on here. He's got a really good run out of turn 4. The kink at turn 5, easy flat. It's a big bump in the surface there and the car's moving around a lot. And Martin will commit to the outside and clear. Nice pass. He's back up to 2nd.
That's the way Macro just danced through the S's there, the modified turn 6 region. Lots of runoff in the background. As down to turn 6 we go. The leader is still Macro, 1.4 seconds. And we go back to this battle pack still between Moya. This is close. Moya opens the door, lets Ricky Capo think about making the move, and all the while Rubens Barrichello might just get the spot as well. Great 3-car battle here. Barrichello sweeps around the outside, uses all that experience from 19 unbroken years of Formula 1, and now gets himself back into 8th.
He'll get another one here too, Matt, because he's got a very good drive out the final corner. That extra momentum he had for sending it around the outside has worked a treat. Here goes Rubens down the inside at turn 1. Big brake lock up though. Will he get it stopped? Just, but he'll run wide and Ricky Capo will try and fight back. Barrichello's got the correct racing line into turn 2, but continuing to torch that right front Hoosier tyre, really struggling under brakes. And that car will have a flat spot now. There'll be a vibration through the front axle of that car. Anton Di Pasquale watching on from pit lane. Paul Morris there as well. I'm sure the dude will try and wrangle a drive in one of these at some point. He'll steer anything else.
So plenty to play out down to Dandenong Road corner. He's right on the gearbox. Coming out of that left-hander and down the short straight underneath the Penrite Bridge. Gap is less than half a second, but there's another battle brewing behind there now between Golding, Brabham and Brown. So 3rd, 4th and 5th. Matt Brabham actually predicted this yesterday after practice. We're going to see several groups of cars that would battle it out here. Wouldn't be follow the leader racing, but they'd spread out with decent pack racing.
This has been a great drive under serious pressure for Tim Macro, and so too for John Martin, who had to fight his way up into 2nd place. Brilliant motor race. Never more than 2 car lengths between them. And a couple of champion race car drivers have put on a great show. S5000 is here, folks. The big bangers are back. And the first qualifying race goes the way of Tim Macro. He wins at Sandown and holds out John Martin and resets the lap record in the process. The second qualifying race is today to build to the final. Brown and Brabham on the front row. Let's go with S5000, race 2. Great start, Brabham. James Golding, sensational launch from grid 7 down the inside. Watch the yellow and black. He's off the road and driving down the inside, trying to get the race lead. Brabham's in the middle. Davison on the outside. Will Brown's being swamped. It's Brabham through turn 1. Jimmy Golding's going to be second. What a start from Bieber.
It was a huge start from the 4th row. Finds himself second while Brabham leads us through. Ricky Capo trying to make the move on the inside on Alex Davison at turn number 3. But how was the rumble going down the main straight for the first time here at Sandown? All 13 cars let rip onto the back straight.
Remember, the points from race 1 and race 2 set the grid for the feature. So Macro in the box seat to get pole for the main race. Pole tyres, standard on road, everyone locking up, trying to get the thing stopped and turned, and somehow they all make it out the other side. Macro's the fastest man on the racetrack at the moment. He's the 3rd car in this freight train. Race 1 winner, Golding very wide in fact, to open the door for Macro. But he defends it around. Oh no, big spin, Ricky Capo.
That was lucky. Everybody around just avoiding the Valvoline number 34 and stuck in the middle of the track. He'll drop back behind Michael Gibson. A replay thanks to Actron Air in turn 9. It's Barrichello coming through the shot, and in the background, it's another lock-up, this time from Taylor Cockerton, the Kiwi. Does he keep it out of the gravel? Only just down there at turn 9.
Great job by that outfit GRM to enable that to happen and keep Martin Moore on the racetrack. Here's John Martin. He's the man on the march. He's past Will Brown. He's trying to do the same to Alex Davison. They'll go wheel to wheel at turn 1. Davison defends. There'll be a switchback, but Alex will continue to find himself on the correct side of the road for turn 2.
Great racing, and that really shows you the slipstream effect that these cars are designed to do down the Brock Straight here at Sandown Raceway. Alex Davison just ahead of Martin here. While the front guys continue to trade fastest laps, the gap sits at half a second between Brabham and Golding. You're watching Martin battling with Davison for 4th and 5th. Pulls out for a bit of a look at turn 6, and Brabham is off. Matt Brabham is off the circuit at turn 9. He's going to just get this car out, but he drops out of the lead.
Drivers are saying by this point tyres are all up to temperature. So curb on the inside, curb on the outside, that's okay. And just lock the fronts. So that was the same we saw a lap ago with the AGI, the E-Tech Motorsport car. Quite a big whack into the fence as well.
So 4 cars arguing over 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th here as we work lap 8 of 16. James Golding holds the fastest lap of the race. It's 0.6 of a second to Tim Macro. And this battle, Alex Davison. And now around the outside, here comes John Martin with the move of the weekend. That was huge from the 24 and puts himself up into 3rd place. What a move on the outside. And a new record, 105.0164 for John Martin. Here's the Actron Air replay of Barrichello and Brown, where you thought he was excited about having Barrichello in the field, Will Brown. He's racing wheel to wheel with him now.
We start the final lap, 1 to go. John Martin, 104.5, another lap record on the penultimate lap of the race. How good are these cars over a distance?
Jimmy Golding has been the surprise packet so far. Behind him is Macro, 0.6 of a second behind. He's gone underneath the lap record as well with Rubens Barrichello. But down to the final turn comes James Golding, and he'll start towards the pointy end for the first ever feature race. But he goes into the record books as a second winner in the S5000s here at Sandown, and does it by less than half a second to Tim Macro.
Really good motor race again. Here's how they line up. Tim Macro and John Martin are on the front row of the grid. James Golding and Rubens Barrichello from the second.
And the lights are about to go out for the first time. The feature race is underway here at Sandown. Not a great start from the front row, but Rubens Barrichello made a great start. Same too for Jimmy Golding, like he did earlier today in the qualifying heat race. He'll move up into second. Barrichello will move into 3rd place. Martin drops back in behind. We're side by side with Will Brown and Alex Davison. Everybody survives the first corner here.
Poleman was away nicely. Very good launch for Tim Macro. A little bit of wheel spin, but it hooked up in the second phase of the start. Golding away smartly. His start earlier today was impressive. Having said that, McRoy went from 10th to 3rd off the start in the qualifier earlier on today. So the three-time Australian F3 champion leads him up the hill for the first time. Golding second, Barrichello to third. Heard him before touch on that little issue he had in the qualifying race that cost him straight line speed. Come back to that because Will Brown's going around the outside of Alex Davison at turn 6 and over the curb. Somehow gathers it up before Dandenong Road. This kid can drive. That is enormous. Great bit of car control and he holds on to it.
Off the track is Ricky Capo, and damage to that car. Looks like his day is done.
Golding slow out of turn 1 and under searing pressure from the bright red Pace 111 of 11-time Grand Prix winner Rubens Barrichello. And we're going to go yellow. The ANCAP safety car will be on the racetrack. Now this is about to be an enormously committed bit of race car driving. Big toe, the aerodynamic effect draws him alongside, and by the point he commits, he just goes hard around the outside. More curb than he wanted to use, and on the rack stops in opposite lock, trying to get the thing slowed and stopped without spearing into the barriers. That's an amazing bit of car control.
Now back to the restart here with 20 laps remaining. The first feature race of S5000 here today at Sandown Raceway.
Macro judged it well, but Golding went with him. Davison on the defensive from that man Brabham. We just heard from him. Big lock up. Macro struggled to get it stopped. He's gone. He's thrown it away from the race lead. Buried in the sand trap at turn 1. And off goes Barton Moore as well. His old F3 rivals joined him. Tim Macro's out of the race. Day done, going nowhere.
And the Boylan Group entry spins off into the very deep gravel traps here. A rare mistake from Macro.
As away we go, some struggling for grip and traction behind, but it's a really nice restart for Golding. Leads the field to green. Here's the rush to turn 1. 250 k's on approach. Does Barrichello have a look? Not yet. Do they all get through? Yes, they do. Good stuff. Nice and clean. It's Golding in front by a car length.
Michael Gibson runs a bit wide at the back there in car number 11, the Apex Racing prepared entry, but it's tightly compressed at the front. Golding, Barrichello coming out of turn number 3 and head down the famous back straight here at Sandown Raceway. Long way to play out in this race as down we go. Big incident. That's enormous on the back straight. And that's Davison. Huge impact. The Astron Tech number 8 goes in hard on the left-hand side.
And that's terrific news that Alex Davison's out of the car. Well, there's proof positive that these things are ultra safe because that was an enormous accident. And Davison clambering out under his own steam. So let's have a look, middle of the screen, about to turn into the kink. And unfortunately, it looks like we might miss the start of it. So he was tucked up behind Matt Brabham. And the car's just fired across to the left-hand side of the road and drilled into that Armco barrier. And good evasive action behind. Bart Moore checked up, trying to get out of the way of Tyler Alexander in the 22. Tom Alexander in the 22 for AGI Sport.
Safety car will lead us around. We're going to finish behind the back of the ANCAP safety car here. The checkered flag is now out to wave, and James Golding will pick up the win in race number 1. A shortened race here today, but we promise you folks this category is going to boom. Golding, Barrichello, and John Munn.
James, you've been in the mix all weekend and you come up on top in the feature race. Didn't end the way that we would rather it too, but how much fun have you had this weekend in S5000?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. Yeah, a bit unfortunate we did get to race proper there. I was looking forward to having a battle with Rubens at the end, but yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. Obviously, just being careful on the cold tyres and all that sort of stuff just to keep it on, and obviously paid off. So, yeah, really happy overall weekend. Just unbelievable experience. So, I can't thank Gary Rogers Motorsport and everyone that's helped out.
And the man who's finished runner-up in this very familiar colour car, he's a very familiar face. It's been a real honour and a pleasure to have him here this weekend. Congratulations, Rubens. You made it to the podium, second in the feature race. It's a shame how it ended. Have you enjoyed your weekend, though?
Yes, I hope Alex is okay because I was checking the mirrors and I saw like a white car going, and I was sorry then when I came to realize it was him. I hope he's okay. I had a great time, my friend. It's been a blast to drive a fast car once again. They all fast, but you know, the open wheel after 7 years. I hope people enjoy. I'm sorry that we didn't get to race today with the way it was going, but it was just nice to be here.